There are nights in football that belong to champions, and there are nights that belong to dreamers. Miami witnessed both. Argentina walked away with a 3-2 extra-time victory and a place in the round of 16, but when the final whistle echoed around the stadium, it felt as though football itself had chosen another winner. For more than 2 unforgettable hours, a tiny nation from the Atlantic Ocean refused to bow before the reigning world champions. Cape Verde arrived as outsiders. They left as legends. Football history is rarely kind to the small. It remembers trophies, medals and champions. Yet every generation produces a story that refuses to fit inside statistics. With fewer than 600,000 people spread across 10 islands, Cape Verde had no right, according to history, to stand alongside Argentina. But football has never belonged to history alone. It belongs to belief. It belongs to those brave enough to dream beyond their circumstances. On this night, Cape Verde reminded the world that the size of a nation can never measure the size of its heart. Lionel Messi did what only Lionel Messi can do. Lisandro Martinez's magnificent pass floated over the defense, and with one perfect touch and one devastating finish, the Argentine captain scored his 20th World Cup goal. It was a moment worthy of the greatest player of his generation. Around the stadium, it felt inevitable that Argentina would take control. The script seemed written. The champions would march on. The underdogs would quietly disappear. But Cape Verde had not traveled across an ocean to become another. What followed was an act of fearless rebellion. Ryan Mendez surged forward without fear. Leroy Duarte fired home the equalizer. Every tackle carried the weight of a nation's hopes. Every sprint challenged decades of football hierarchy. Argentina attacked with world-class talent, Cape Verde answered with relentless courage. When the champions struck again in extra time, most teams would have accepted their fate. The Blue Sharks never did. Then came the moment that will live forever. Sidney Lopez Cabral curled an astonishing strike beyond Emiliano Martinez and into the top corner. Time seemed to stop. Commentators lost their words. Millions watching across the world simply stared. It was not just one of the goals of this World Cup, it was the goal of a nation's lifetime. For one breathtaking moment, penalties were within touching distance, and the smallest nation ever to reach a World Cup knockout match stood shoulder to shoulder with the defending champions. Football, however, can be beautifully cruel. Lionel Messi delivered one final corner. Christian Romero met it with his head. A painful deflection off Dani Borges carried the ball beyond the helpless Vozinha. An own goal. A heartbreaking ending. Yet even then, Cape Verde refused to surrender. Willy Semedo charged forward. Cabral searched for one last miracle. Every player in blue emptied the last drop of strength from his body. They were not protecting a result. They were protecting a dream. Standing at the heart of that dream was Vozinha. At 40 years old, he was far more than a goalkeeper. He became the heartbeat of a nation. 10 remarkable saves, 5 of them denying Lionel Messi himself, transformed him into one of the unforgettable figures of this World Cup. Alongside Ryan Mendez, Jamiro Montero, Logan Costa, Leroy Duarte and Sidney Cabral, he proved that greatness is not reserved for football's richest nations. Sometimes greatness is simply refusing to stop believing when the whole world expects you to fall. Years from now, people will remember that Argentina won 3-2. They will remember Messi's brilliance and another step towards glory. But they will remember something else as well. They will remember the night a small island nation conquered the hearts of millions. They will remember that football is not only about lifting trophies, it is about lifting spirits. Some teams leave the World Cup with medals. Cape Verde left with something even rarer, the respect of the world, the love of football fans everywhere, and a story that will be told wherever the beautiful game is played. Some teams win championships. Cape Verde won immortality.